Welcome to the Anthony Bruno Show. I am Anthony Bruno. Holy shit, I still can't believe what I witnessed from the Leafs in Game 4. They were left for dead, totally knocked out, and then out of nowhere, they scored 3 goals with under 4 minutes to go in the game to force overtime against the Columbus Blue Jackets before Austin Matthews scored the game winner in OT, giving the Leafs a 4-3 victory, tying the best-of-5 series at 2 and setting up a deciding Game 5. And you know what? I thought long and hard about this. I am pretty confident in saying that that was the most thrilling Leafs win I have ever seen in my life. So I'm going to give my thoughts on Game 4 and then tell you what to look forward to in Game 5. It is going to be nuts. So let's go. Hockey is such a funny game because in Game 3, I thought the Leafs totally outplayed the Blue Jackets. I thought they were the better team 3 out of 4 periods and ended up coughing up a 3-0 lead and losing. And then in Game 4, I thought it was the opposite. I thought the Blue Jackets were the better team throughout most of the game. And then look what happened in the last 4 minutes. And don't forget that with under 6 minutes to go, Morgan Rielly, who I think has had an amazing series, had that brutal turnover to Nick Foligno. Boone Jenner scores the 3-0 goal. And at that moment, we're all ready to pack it up. See you later, Leafs. See you at the draft lottery on Monday night. Leaf fans are texting each other, talking about which of the big 4 is going to get traded. Are the Leafs going to trade Nylander? Tavares in the offseason? How are they going to fix the blue line? Did Sheldon Keefe screw it up? I mean, everyone was ready to just go absolutely nuts on the Maple Leafs. And people were texting, they're on Twitter. But it was just a disaster. And then out of freaking nowhere, the Leafs pull off the greatest comeback win I have ever seen from this franchise in all my years of watching hockey. It was unbelievable. And can we talk about Jason Spezza for a second? This guy is a former 2nd overall pick. He used to be one of the most talented players in the NHL. He's played over 1,000 games, almost 1,000 points. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. And then this year, at the age of 37, he comes back to Toronto to play for his hometown team, making $700,000. He's playing on the 4th line, and this dude drops the gloves and is throwing bombs with the Leafs season on the line. I mean, that is the last thing. That is the absolute last thing I thought I'd ever see from Jason Spezza watching this guy for the last 15 years. That Leafs team, when you're looking at Jason Spezza, the vet, the guy you all respect, who's was a first-line player throughout most of his career. Now he's on the 4th line, and he's out there chucking fists. I mean, that was just amazing to see. Jason Spezza, just an incredible moment, and I really hope that he gets more involved offensively in Game 5, and if the Leafs advance and try to make a deep playoff run here, because that is someone who still has a lot left in the tank. You can still see the speed and skill, and just great on Jason Spezza for coming through for the Leafs. All right, now we have to go over the last 4 minutes of the game, because leading up to that, the Leafs' big 4 forwards did not live up to expectations in this series. Besides Austin Matthews, who I thought has had a great series, he's been the Leafs' most dangerous player, but Mitch Marner, John Tavares, and William Nylander did not totally live up to their potential. I was expecting more out of those guys. And the narrative, if the Leafs did not come back in this game, would have turned to those big 4, and people would have started talking about who was going to get traded. Whether it's John Tavares, William Nylander. If the Leafs lost that game, honestly, there was a very real possibility in the offseason, and that possibility still exists if the Leafs do not win this series and move on to the first round of the playoffs, that one of those guys is going to get traded. And you kind of look at it the same way the Raptors situation went down, where, they were a great team for, a 3 or 4 year stretch with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, but they couldn't get over the hump. Masai Ujiri trades DeMar DeRozan, brings in Kawhi Leonard, and everything changes. And if the Leafs had lost this series, which they still might, that conversation is going to happen. But to see those big 4 step up in those last 4 minutes and then in overtime, combining for 10 points in the victory, that was a hell of a statement from those elite players, because I've said this many times and I'll say it again. The Leafs are only going to go as far as those big four forwards take them. I know that Morgan Rielly's incredible. He's a big part of the team on the blue line. Same with Freddie Anderson in goal. But the Leafs are built on speed and skill. They're built on scoring goals. They're built on aggression. And those four forwards are what's going to take them on a deep playoff run. So to see those guys step up when it mattered most, when everyone was counting out this team, was incredible to see. And I can't wait to see what they do in Game 5. I've said this before, and I might as well say it again. Despite how much of a roller coaster season the Leafs had this year, I think a lot of people forget just how well this team has bounced back after seemingly devastating losses. You go back to February, they got blown out 5-2 by the Pittsburgh Penguins, immediately responded in the next game, shutting out the Penguins 4-0. The game after that was the Zamboni driver game where they lost 6-3 on home ice to the Carolina Hurricanes. Everyone thought the organization was going to come crashing down, and what did the Leafs do in the next game? They went on the road to play the Tampa Bay Lightning and beat them 4-3. And then the same thing happened in this series. The Leafs get shut out 2-0 in Game 1. They bounce back and win Game 2. The Leafs suffer a brutal collapse in Game 3. They bounce back and have their greatest comeback win ever in Game 4. So this is a team that has overcome adversity throughout the season. You know, I've also talked about all the injuries they've dealt with. So they've actually done a pretty solid job of overcoming adversity. So yes, you know, they have this whole narrative around them that they choke when it matters most and they never live up to expectations, but we've now seen them bounce back on multiple occasions throughout this season, and they've done it again in the playoffs, and now they have a big Game 5, and they got to get through or else everything is going to be for naught. So the Leafs pulled off the most amazing comeback they've ever had, and Columbus just suffered probably the most demoralizing loss in franchise history. But I wouldn't get too excited yet if I was a Leafs fan, because I wouldn't buy into this whole momentum thing. Because listen, every game is its own individual game, okay? I don't think momentum is necessarily going to carry over from this win. Again, I think the Leafs are the better team. I think across the board, they have more talent, they have more depth than Columbus. So I think that they deserve to go through to the next round. But Game 5, anything could happen. I mean, a bounce off a skate, a deflection off someone's stick, and next thing you know, the whole game is just going crazy, right? So if we've learned anything from this series, it's to expect the unexpected. I think we are in for an amazing Game 5. And like I said before, I picked the Leafs to win this series. I'm sticking with that pick. So I think they're going to get it done. They're going to win Game 5. And then after that, I think they're going to go on a pretty solid postseason run. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen in Game 5. Are the Leafs going to win and move on to the first round? Or are the Columbus Blue Jackets going to spoil the party for Leafs Nation and be the next lower-seeded team to move on to the first round of the playoffs? And as always, I would really appreciate it if you like the video, share it on social media, and subscribe to my channel, especially if you're a sports fan and want to see more content like this. It would really, really help me out. So that does it for this video, and I will see you guys next time.